Welcome to Lesson 4 of Module 4 on Basic Query Formulation with SQL. I'm going to start with a question related to the way that join operations are written in the SQL select statement. Which join style do you prefer? This lesson extends the coverage of the join operator from Lesson 3. In this lesson, you will see examples of select statements with two different styles to write join operations. This lesson has practical objectives for using join operations in the SQL select statement. You should be able to write select statements using both join styles. In addition, you should be able to provide natural language explanations to document select statements containing both join styles. We will continue using the university database that was first introduced in Module 2. When formulating problems involving the join operator, you should know the relationships in the database diagram. We will see select statements that combine the faculty, offering, and course tables using join operations. The university database diagram indicates that faculty and offering can be joined on FactNum, and course and offering can be joined on course number. The select statement provides a number of ways to specify join operations. This lesson provides examples of two important ways to specify join operations. The cross-product style lists tables in the from clause and join conditions in the where clause as shown in Example 1. Example 1 shows a select statement to retrieve the offering number, course number, and faculty name, first and last name, for assistant professors teaching information systems, IS%, courses in fall 2016. Note that the from clause contains the offering and faculty tables, and the where condition contains the join condition in the last line of the statement. Let's briefly look at the execution of Example 1 in the Oracle SQL Developer. The result contains columns from the offering and faculty tables. The cross-product join style is easy to read, but does not support a less used way to combine tables known as the outer join operator. All the tables required in a statement can be easily found by examining the from clause. Note that the order of tables in the from clause and conditions in the where clause are not important. The SQL compiler will determine a good execution plan for the statement, regardless of the order of tables and join conditions. However, you should be careful to ensure that the join condition is not omitted in the where clause. Omitting a join condition in the where clause will provide incorrect results and consume large amounts of computing resources to compute a cross-product operation containing all pairs of rows from each table, not just the matching rows. The join operator style lists join operations in a from clause using the inner join and on keywords. Example 2 shows a select statement to retrieve the offering number, course number, and faculty name, first and last name, for assistant professors teaching information systems, IS% course offerings, in fall 2016. Example 2 provides the same result as Example 1. Note that the from clause contains an explicit join operation combining the offering and faculty tables on the join condition. The where clause does not contain the join condition. Let's briefly look at the execution of Example 2 in the Oracle SQL Developer. The result contains columns from the offering and faculty tables. The join operator style can be somewhat difficult to read for statements with many join operations, but it supports outer join operations, although we will not study the outer join operator in this course. Note that the order of join operations is not important, as the SQL compiler will decide on the most efficient order of joining the tables. When combining multiple tables in a select statement, you need to be careful with name qualification. Column names used in a statement must be qualified with its associated table name if the column name alone is ambiguous in a query. Ambiguity occurs if the same unqualified name occurs in more than one table in a statement. Typically, qualification is required for join conditions in which the primary key and foreign key have the same unqualified name. Now, let's look at an example of name qualification. In Example 2, fact number must be qualified with its table name whenever referenced because it is ambiguous when used alone. Let's briefly look at the execution of example 2 when fact number is not qualified. So here the fact number is not qualified. The Oracle SQL compiler generates an error message that a column is ambiguously defined. Note that you can qualify any column name in a statement. Qualification can make a statement easier to read, but it takes longer to write. If a column name includes an abbreviation of the table name, the readability argument is not strong. However, this naming convention, involving the table name abbreviation as part of the column name, may not be used in practice much. Now, let's look at 2 more examples in each join style with 3 tables and statements. Example 3 lists details about Leonard Vince's teaching schedule in fall 2016. Example 3 combines the faculty, course, and offering tables using the cross-product join style. Note that the from clause contains 3 tables, and the where clause contains 2 join conditions. Typically, a select statement with n tables should have n-1 join conditions. This formula is a practical check on your work. Omitting a join condition is a serious error causing both incorrect results and high levels of resource consumption. Let's execute example 3 using the Oracle SQL Developer. Note that the result contains 2 rows. I want you to note another subtle aspect of example 3. The faculty table is required in the from clause, even though no columns from the faculty table appear in the result. The faculty table is needed because the where clause contains conditions to test against the rows of the faculty table. A table is needed in the from clause if columns from the table appear in the result or conditions with columns of the table appear in the where clause. Example 4 produces the identical result as example 3. Example 4 uses the join operator style with 2 join operations in the from clause. The from clause is a little more difficult to read because it contains join operations, not just a list of tables. However, students typically do not omit join conditions with the join operator style because join conditions are part of the join operations. Note that the order of join operations is not important, as the SQL compiler will decide on the most efficient order of joining the tables. Let's execute example 4 using the Oracle SQL Developer. Note that the result contains 2 rows, identical to the result of example 3. Let's wrap up this lesson about 2 styles for join operations in select statements. The cross-product style makes tables in the statement easier to see, but both the from and the where clauses must be examined to see join operations. The choice of a join style is largely a matter of personal preference. You should be comfortable reading and writing statements using both styles. The join operator is essential because business databases typically have many tables. Extracting useful information typically requires more than 1 table, sometimes many tables combined with the join operator. You are encouraged to work many examples to learn the syntax for writing select statements that join tables. As you will see in Module 5, knowledge of a database diagram is essential as the number of tables in a statement increases.